Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 8-Star Anime. And yes, as you've guessed, this is the background for Chop Sake, along with your two favorite black men. But, in terms of recording, this is the best time to really do it with somebody else other than me. So, otherwise you would have an anime background if it was at my house.
Okay.
Well, I haven't talked to Dave in a while, and you were available.
Oh, okay. Alright.
High five. Yeah, just kidding. Anyways, no, folks, being more serious now, I like collaborating with my fellow compatriot Geek Carolina, Chop Sake's William. And today we actually got a taste of some anime goodness. And surprisingly enough, it's from a US product from DC Comics. Ladies and gentlemen, we present with you Batman Ninja. You're thinking, wait, Batman? Anime? That don't sound right. But
no.
No.
It's splendid goodness,
It's
that's all it is.
100% anime. These are 100% Japanese animators who actually collaborated to make this film happen. Though, it did release here in April, digitally first and DVD later, here in the US. In June, can't remember exactly the date, they'll be in theaters in Japan. Now, just to give you a quick idea of this film as we are rewatching the Time Warp, Gorilla Grodd in Arkham Asylum has invented his Quake engine. Basically a big-ass time machine. And he decides this would be a great way for him to take over Gotham by attempting to send everyone else back to the past and other places. However, that doesn't go very well when Batman decides to rain on his parade and sends everybody who is within range back to a feudal era Japan.
Which is like which is the entire island of Arkham Asylum. So
Pretty much. So, upon doing so, each villain, pretty much everyone's been there except Batman for 2 years. Based on Batman's first appearance in the feudal era. And
I think I know how that works.
And upon that happening, each of the major villains of Arkham Asylum, the Joker, Poison Ivy, the Penguin, Two-Face, and Deathstroke have become shoguns of basically
the 5 major provinces.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to think in my head for some reason.
The five major provinces during the feudal states era, or the warring states, or the warring states, or the warring ages. So there's that.
Yeah, I was like, in my head, I was like, what am I trying to say? I was like, so, and as Batman now decides he needs to correct history in some form or fashion, his first target is, of course, none other than the Joker. Now, without going into too many more details in this film, what's up? You have something in your head.
That scene at the end with the car that's on the side.
Yeah, we'll get
that's a knock on the Riddler.
Ah, okay. So we'll get that in a minute. And
because it took me a minute, I was like, why does that look
so familiar?
Yeah, it's like...
So, in this particular instance, he tries to go against Joker, but ultimately fails. But runs into many of his allies, Catwoman, Alfred, and of course, along with them, there was Nightwing, Red Robin, you missed that? Robin, as well as Red Hood. And through most of this film, it's literally trying to find a way to get back home with a lot of great anime fight scenes, animations, great regular everyday DC comedy, the puns, jokes, and everything that follows with it. Now, we did watch this in English, and the dialogue in certain places, I will admit, didn't make any sense. for kind of what was going around. But I think they did the best they could based on keeping the characters that we know and love to their true state. To I guess you want to put it that way?
Yeah.
So, now, with that being said, I want to quickly note that, yes, there are, if everybody knows any of the story, yes, there are 2 technical scripts to this movie. It's not that they literally decided, oh, they need to change it for American audiences or anything of that nature. It's just that they felt that the dialogue after translations didn't really work.
It's that whole thing of being lost in translation, that kind of thing.
So it makes it so having changing about 90% of the dialogue makes it seem like they just went ahead and just wrote 2 different scripts, when realistically it's more of.
It seems like from what you were telling me, they more just changed the tone of things.
Yeah, they changed the tone of the film because apparently the Japanese version is a completely different tone with their version of dialogue.
Because I saw promo material for this, and all the promo material made it seem like a much darker movie than the American script. Because all the promos I saw were in Japanese. So,
and so, with that being said, what were your favorite parts there, Will?
Come here, buddy.
So, what were your favorite parts of this film?
The sheer ludicrousness of some of the fight scenes were awesome. At one point, it just seemed like a Sentai movie.
It really did.
You'll be able to pinpoint that moment.
There was point in times where I said, so I wonder how we can fit Gundam into the show. I wonder how we can fit Voltron into the show. Can we put some Super Sentai in here?
And yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Every single moment. It's like they literally tried. And my favorite part, realistically, are the fight scenes themselves. Because I thought, especially the one-on-one fights.
I like the costume designs for each.
Oh yeah, the costume designs were fantastic.
Yeah. Especially, I was a huge fan of. I wasn't kind of a fan of the Catwoman costume, and then a part of the costume like made me just like, okay, I like this costume now.
It was kind of funny, like, my whole thing of looking at Joker and, like, the whole Shogun outfit just amuses me.
Yeah.
And
Harley has 2 different costumes. Harley and the Joker have 2 different costumes.
Oh, yeah.
I just realized that. Because there's the initial costumes you see them in when they first show up. And I like their secondary, their costume change better than I do, like, their original ones. So.
Nope. No looking on the face. To be honest... yeah. So if I actually had to, come on, buddy.
Sorry, he's riled up.
I can see that. I mean, actually, one of the best looks I thought in this film I really liked was really Poison Ivy.
Yeah. She actually had a really good character design.
Granted,
I still liked her better with. She has pink hair in this. I still like her better as like the femme fatale redhead character. So
yeah.
But she still looked good. So
there's that. Penguin looked interesting. Red Hood, I think, had one of the most, like...
Yeah, like a Buddhist monk.
Buddhist monk. Like, look.
You get to see his face for like a split
second. But otherwise, he has, his Red Hood. And buddy.
He's not telling you to come there. Jesus. Ow, my foot. Ow, my foot.
Noticed. You are so riled, aren't you? You know the difference between me and Will is I'm going to keep it simple. And, so, I mean, this film did a lot of stuff. Now, one thing you'll notice in this film, art changes. Lots of different art changes. I think
maybe 4?
3 or 4 different art changes that are majorly seen, but they're done on purpose. It really changes with the tone of where the film is going, especially with the scenes and how they're played out. Most of the movie is played with mostly CG. There's a lot of 2D scenes, especially with the montages, where they kind of do like the picture montage and the quick dialogue as they go through. They do a lot of the hand drawn, like the old style, old Japanese hand art that they did during a scene with Joker and Harley and the Red Hood. and I thought that was interesting. I at first I was a little confused why they changed the art style so drastically all of a sudden, and then it made sense.
Kind of to prove a point, because they kind of have you ever watched The Hickenden?
Yes.
So like Momiji's Resurrection, that episode was
Yeah.
a completely different art style, and then it goes back to like one of the other art styles. It's just that one episode, and I still believe that art style is atrocious that they used for that episode, but it's the whole fact of the matter of that one episode is so storyline important that you have to, even if you don't like the art style, you still got to sit through it, because if you don't watch that episode, you will miss like a large part of the twist and the plot points in that that all put together in that.
Now, to kind of give you a rough estimate, since we got, computer, and we can keep track of who did what, our main character designer for the film is a guy named Takashi Okazaki. Yeah, he's a man who did some work on Afro Samurai as well as many others like Kill la Kill and some other forms of work. And but he mainly did a lot of your character designs for this one. Your screenwriter, at least for the Japanese version, is a man named Kazuki Nakashima. He's actually done the actual screenwriting for Kill la Kill as well as Kamen Rider Forze, if you're into the tokusatsu side from Denkaster and whatnot, which actually kind of shocked me because I wouldn't have never known. But then again, this is what research is for. It's what we do. And of course, a lot of your voice actors for the English side of things are a lot of your same voice actors who've played many of these characters before in one shape, form, or fashion.
Tara Strong.
Yep.
Reprising Harley. I forgot the original actress who played Selena Kyle. She's in it from the animated series, and so is Ivy. I'm not sure because you don't really hear everybody else, but it is not Mark Hamill, it is not Kevin Conroy doing Batman and Joker.
No.
Because as far as last thing I ever heard was their last deal to do those two roles was Arkham City, the video game. So.
And so you got a bunch of other people playing.
The funniest thing about that was they were originally going to do it without Mark Hamill because he's supposed to be dead, right?
Yeah.
But Kevin Conroy was just like, I'm not doing it without him. I was just like, so if you've ever played the game and the whole like hallucinations that like Batman Bruce is having the entire time, that's one of the reasons why that's in there, and why and part of the plot and part of the storyline just changed. They were like, oh crap, what
do we do?
Well, shit, we can do this.
Yeah, no, right? We got it. So yeah, this is about a 85-minute, 90-minute film, where, to be honest, it goes through your typical tropes of bad guys doing good guys got to try to figure things out, bad guys stomp the good guys for a minute, good guys come back, your standard line of tropes throughout the movie. And what makes it hilarious is, oh god, this is the part where he looks like a missionary from the West. But the entire time,
preaching the gospel of Batman.
But exactly, as at the top.
Why I say that.
Yeah, you see what I said. Just pay attention to the top of his head, and
his book.
Yes. So, I thought it was hilarious, and so one of my favorite parts of this film overall, because to be honest, there really isn't a whole lot of thumbs down to the film, because it is what it is. But one of the major thumbs up was the fight scenes, like the one-on-one fight scenes in the entire film, was actually shot live action first, and then they took those fight scenes and turned them into the animation that it is. So I thought that was cool that the choreography was done in live action to kind of see what they wanted to do with the movie, and then put it in the actual movie. So they did a really good job there. Now, what makes this truly animated is, yes, everything's over the top. Like, there are just some things that are just a wow. Like, Gorilla Grodd hits Joker so hard, I was like, okay, he has got to be dead. There's no reason he lives. Like,
Basically launching him into space.
Space. Well, the only reason he didn't make it there is Batman pulled him back down. Really hard. And,
basically the giant robot fight at the end. Yeah.
yeah.
Especially when you see it, because it's a bunch of giant robots, and then they do the whole, like, they even do a fucking montage, like, come together scene, too, and it's pretty fucking funny.
I was just like, wow, how many tropes are they going to put in this movie?
As many as they can, apparently.
And it works so well. And overall, it's just a really good film. I mean, if you're going to ask me and Will hey, would you recommend watching this film?
Yes.
I would tell you yes. There's no reason not to watch it. It feels like a typical Batman movie with, high Japanese tones. 100%. I mean, you can't really get away from it. And, of course, one of the things that Will was talking about earlier was the current Batmobile when they finally get back to their own timeline. Because we're actually watching a scene where technically he loses his Batmobile. And, but when he comes back, he's like, well, you're going to need this, and let's get ready to go to dinner. He's like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. We got a car? Yes, but it's a bit vintage. And they turn around, and
it just shows you the horses.
It shows you the horses, and my thought process went, no, they didn't.
I was like, what?
It's a carriage, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like, yep. it's the bat carriage. It's fantastic.
Awesome when you see it, trust me.
You'll notice it. It's pretty funny. Now, the other character I thought was really great was the whole I'm going to get mine Catwoman, who literally, at the end, got hers. So, and you'll see why. And so it's just an overall great movie. I thought, at one point I thought they were just going to change the direction of the movie until I realized, nope. Same bad guy, never mind. They got it.
Yep.
The bad guy all the way through got it. So, I mean, any comments you got? Ups, downs?
Huh?
Not really?
Not really, no.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I would recommend 100%. Go into your local store that sells DVDs, movies, whatever, and pick yourself up Batman Ninja.
Some good shit.
Really good stuff.
I really liked it. I mean, I heard about it randomly saw a preview for it on Facebook. And it was a Japanese promo it was one of the Japanese trailers for it, and I was just like, what is this madness, and why do I suddenly want to see all of this?
Yeah. I mean,
several more of them later, I was just like,
I give you a kind of quick up close, it's a bit blurry, but that's what happens. Some of the characters, Gorilla Grodd at the top, Penguin, Two-Face, like some of the looks that they have, and their Shogun costumes and stuff like that. Like, oh god, one of my favorite quotes in this entire movie is great. He's like, I think it's a bit cliche, with the bananas. Says woman, says cat brother in a cat costume.
I was like, yep, he's got a point.
Gotcha. So, with that said, hey, if we're gonna go ahead and go ahead and score this. Now, like I said, we did change it for 4-4, from the tangibles to the intangibles. Instead of doing the 2, 2, and 2 and 2,
okay,
we decided to do 4 for all the tangible stuff that kind of can fluctuate a movie, from the stuff that really can't.
Okay.
So, kind of like your visual and audio are kind of in one category, essentially. If I had to classify it, visually, this movie is very stunning, very well done. The fight scenes and animations are where you think it would be for, an American comic book character turned, anime. As well as the music complements it very nicely.
Hugo Kano, you did a wonderful job. I wonder if is he in relation to like Yoko?
Not sure, actually.
I kind of wonder that.
Yeah, and so...
And Bane is silly. Bane's character design in this is silly. So he just popped up on screen, and he's basically a Venom. He's basically a Venom powered sumo wrestler, and it's just hilarious. Trust me on that.
Yeah, I was just about to get suplexed. In a minute, and so basically, if I had to give it anything, I literally would probably give it a. I have to give that part a 3. Not quite 4. Not quite 4, but definitely a 3 because I thought the music was fine all the way around, but the actual the voice acting in this one, some of the jokes, some of the placements seemed a little odd at certain points.
Even for a rewritten English script,
it really was. So that kind of takes away from it. Like, I would have gotten a 4 if the dialogue itself that they decided to put in the film wasn't so, like, forced in certain places to kind of keep characters the way we would normally see them on screen. To be honest, I wouldn't mind rewatching that stupid slide of his, and I wouldn't mind actually rewatching this with subtitles and seeing how different the movie actually is at some point. So that's why I give it. Where would you like to give it at? No, we don't do half stars. About the same. About the same. Makes sense.
I'll give it 3.
Makes sense. So in our second portion of it, we kind of do.
Oh no, but like, I'll give it 3 for mostly the same reason, and it seemed like some of the newer voice actors for characters didn't really fit.
I can see that.
Because, I mean, I understand I'm used to the animated series characters, but you can still, there are guys who have done real good jobs playing the Joker. This guy actually does a pretty good job, but it's just, it seems like he's trying to be the Joker, the version of the Joker that Mark Hamill made famous. So
the only problem is,
take off for that. I'm not really.
That's the only problem I have with certain people playing Joker is they want to be the other actors, and I'm like, don't be the other actors, be a you.
Yeah.
Because if you be a you, I consider you unique, and I actually might like it.
It's just like there won't be another. Jared Leto's version of the Joker is Jared Leto's version of the Joker, just like Jack Nicholson's version was his version.
Yeah.
And Heath Ledger, God rest his soul, his version was his version.
I'm about to say I like them all.
And there's been three different people to play him in each incarnation of the animated series, except for the Batman Beyond movie, because Kevin Conroy was still attached to that franchise at the time. So Mark Hamill came back to play in that one, in the Return of the Joker, because that is him when he does pop up. And I'm just like,
and so far, all the different versions of Joker, I've really enjoyed, to be honest. Especially if they make it their own.
The guy who does Marcus Phoenix's voice.
Oh. Nah.
Joe DiMaggio. Yeah,
there
Joe DiMaggio. He does Marcus Phoenix, and he also does Bender on Futurama. His version of the Joker was a more psychotic and a really good Joker. He made the Joker his own in the Under the Red Hood animated movie. If you haven't seen that, watch that. And Jensen Ackles does a great job as Jason Todd.
Love it.
So
in our second half, where we kind of get more into like the actual storytelling of the film and overall enjoyment,
I'm giving that shit 4.
It is 100% 4. There's nothing about it that's
just the story. The story was told.
I'm about to say, your base plot of the story, they go back in time and have to fight their way back to the future. Makes sense. Everything in between is where it got me, and I said, this is hilarious.
Oh, there's also a corny line about being taken back to the future.
Yes.
In the movie made by Catwoman, and I'm just like, really?
Somebody.
I see what you did, but
somebody had to say it, and as well as watching. My overall enjoyment for this film, I never stopped caring. Like there was never a point in this where I actually stopped caring. I mean, watching Nightwing and Red Robin in their like ninja outfits is hella hilarious. It's like, this is awesome.
As well as regular Robin. So there's that.
Yeah, regular Robin shows up in my. Okay, I just now noticed that. Robin literally comes in doing the Naruto run. That is hilarious. I just not noticed that. That is hilarious as hell. Y'all get a thumbs up for that one. And so it's so yeah. So I mean, realistically, we give it a 7 out of 8 overall. And I think that is just where it needs to be. I can't really give it anything lower. I really can't. It's kind of hard to really. I have to literally nitpick this film for me to go lower somewhere. And I could, but I'm not gonna. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was Batman Ninja. This 8-star anime. I'm Chris. He's Will. We'll see you next time.